Ironwood Games. This is Marcus,
And this is Andrew.
and we are back, and for the first time in a long time, with another Ironwood Indie inspection. Today, we will be taking a look at a game called Pseudoregalia. Andrew, have you heard of this game before?
Pseudoregalia. Um, no, it sounds familiar to me, but no.
Well, unless if you follow 3D platform indie artists on Twitter, you will most likely have not heard of this game. Um,
I don't follow 3D platform artists.
Video game artists.
I don't even know what that means, but okay.
Essentially, people who create indie 3D platformers video games.
I will
Yeah.
you and the audience, as everyone knows, I hate platformers.
Do you?
So
Oh, I did
no,
not know
I
that.
hate them for me. No, I hate them for me because I like the pit in my stomach every time I jump of like, am I gonna make it? Like, I don't enjoy them.
Interesting.
I
Uh,
enjoy watching other people play them.
gotcha. Well, then this is the perfect setup then. Um,
Right. It is.
so, fun story about this game. I do follow a lot of indie people, and this game was created by a person by the name of Ritzler on Twitter. Links to their Twitter and links to this game will be in the description below. And they had made a post that I had just saw one day that said that they entered a 3D Metroidvania contest and made this game in 3 weeks. And holy hell, this game is awesome for a 3 week project. I know very little when it comes to development, but the fact that this game feels so good and has these interesting platforming puzzles and whatnot in 3 weeks and the music is absolutely insane. Um, so the Ritzler is actually their magnum opus that they're currently working on is a game called Electrokinetic. It is wishlist available on Steam. But it sounds like they take from time to time and explore other passions. They also have this other game that they posted back in October when Bayonetta 3 came out. They said, hey, not going to be able to get to Bayonetta 3. So they made their own version of Bayonetta 3 through a very similar kind of looking kind of game thing, which I think is just so cool because it's like, hey, if we don't have access for whatever reason, we'll just make it ourselves. And so I will definitely be checking out their other games. They made a couple of them in the past, which once again links to them and their creations but down below. But I want to take this. This is actually getting some popular on streamers because 3D platform streamers and speedrunners are picking this game up, and I just want to give this more love because this is a cool project. And compared to other indie stuff that I've worked with, like the platforming in this game just feels so good, and I want to share that with you, Andrew, and our audience.
Does it feel good? Well, okay, we'll see.
We'll see.
I don't know. I don't know. Okay. I'm excited for you.
Okay, so we're gonna go to a new game. I've beaten this before. It's not very long, maybe hour, hour and a half to two, depending on if you get lost or not. I clicked new game, and this brought me back to my old save file. Let's try this again.
Uh-oh.
What if I could just click new game?
Nope, there's no new game.
Well, this is what happens when you get everything done in a week.
You have to go, like, delete the old save file.
I might. We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Okay, we're back. That was really... That was weird. Anyway, we got it fixed. This is what happens when you open a brand new game. As you can see, we got this deer-type anthropomorphic individual.
Is that us?
That is us. There is no, I don't think, character name for her currently. I think she just goes by Pseudoregalia. And we have this cool kind of Art Deco kind of HUD at the top left. The bubbles at the top and the V's are our health, and the left, the little kind of diamond bar going down is our magic meter. We'll get to that here in a minute. We can jump. Huh?
I'm just proposing this here. What if this game is called Pseudoregalia?
Other streamers have not set it that way, but I cannot confirm.
Okay.
We got this cool kind of jump, which is like the best feeling jump I've seen in like most indie things. a fun little kind of shadow and a puffball when you land. We can't attack just yet, so we can't go through these doors. But we do have an opening here. And this is kind of a cool way that I believe how it cuts on memory and loads in places, is it's black, but when you go in, it opens, the fog of war goes out.
It's yeah, it reminds me of like the old like Doom tricks and things for rendering 3D.
There's no fall damage. She'll automatically grab ledges, and this obviously gives off very N64 kind of platformer vibes. Here is the first of your Metroidvania ability, the Dreambreaker. Press X or left click, I'm using controller, attack while moving to dance around foes, hit enemies to build up magical power, use it, hold B, F key to heal. So now we got this cool kind of pseudo cross staff. We can attack. Open the way forward.
Is there a like indication that you're doing damage?
The wall kind of shakes a little bit, and you hear it. There's not really a visual.
It's like that one broke right away.
Yeah.
But like the first time, it seemed like I wasn't sure that we were actually doing any damage to it.
Yeah, the wall.
Like, I understand it was a 3-week.
A 3-week what? Yeah, the wall shakes just a little bit, which helps you kind of understand if you're doing damage, if it's relevant or not. Here's a save crystal. They'll also heal you. One thing that is a little bit of a con is that the areas don't have too much detail. Like, you essentially get one kind of texture pack that's used, and that's how you know you're in the different areas. So it's really easy to get lost. There is also no map. So if you get lost easily, you might have a harder time. But the different kind of platforming challenges really kind of stand out as to like the uniqueness of it all. So you're like, oh, I remember that puzzle, and you'll kind of judge as to where you need to go based off of that. Platforms like this, if it's hanging, if you slash, they'll come and crash, and that'll usually open up a shortcut, so you don't have to do the whole thing again, which is really convenient. We have
no area.
Yeah, if we go left, we go into this kind of dark area. Technically, we can go through here and explore. However, because it is super dark, you kind of supposed to trigger the instinct of maybe I'm not supposed to be here yet. And so let us come back to that later. Although we'll probably won't get that ability to explore there effectively in this kind of preview. Our character can grab on poles and climb them up. Her pole kind of physics are a little weird. Because she'll launch off the way that that's behind her, unless you climb all the way to the top. So sometimes climbing physics are just a little jank. Did you play a lot of N64 games, Andrew?
Of course I did. Of course. Whatever I had access to.
Unfortunately, I was a Dreamcast kid, so I got my N64 later in life. But for what little I did play, this brings back joyous late 90s, early 2000 memories.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that was my first impression of just the graphics and the look and feel of it is.
With a much more cooperative camera. If you look down, this is the starting area. We started in that cage over there. We jump across. We can head into a new area. Usually, the new areas are signaled by a golden doorway. Now we're in.
Sansa.
Yeah.
Is there, like, how do you know you've completed the objectives in an area, or like, is it just explore? Like, I guess that's my question. What is the objective, or like, what's the end game? How do I know what I'm supposed to be doing?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, because there's really not a lot of story, you kind of won't guess that until you kind of won't figure that out until exploring. Um, let's get a little bit quicker, and I'll show you kind of the main. I'll give you everyone kind of a hint as to kind of what
Yeah.
the thing is when we get to a new mechanic. So anyways, those little egg kind of dudes with legs and little bitty wings look like kind of baby stork cherubs in a way. As you can see, those are enemies. When we hit them, the magic bar on the left goes up, and that can determine how much we can self-heal if we take damage. Here's another one of those ability orbs. And we got Indignation. High power gives you increased combat abilities. Upon reaching your power level 2, the range of your attack is extended. At level 3, your damage is doubled. The reset is upon spending it on a heal. So as you can see, we're power level 2. So as it said, we have a little bit more range with our attacks. And we all the way to power level 3, which that didn't quite do for us. Now we can do double damage. But as soon as we need to heal, it'll go back down, the power will reset.
Interesting.
So over here, as you can see, there are doors with keys on them. We do not have any keys yet. And there is no inventory screen. When you press pause, it gives you a very rudimentary kind of like pause menu. But there essentially is a door later that requires, so these will open with silver keys. There is a door that you will find that will open with golden keys, and that's generally, you get the vibe that you're supposed to find the golden keys to unlock that door. And that will lead you to the end of the game. So a lot of the times when exploring, you'll get big rooms like this, which the only kind of indication is kind of the if you don't see like a big kind of glowing orb where there's an ability, you'll see kind of different kind of exits to this room. There's one up there. There's one back there. There may or may not be one up there. But I can already tell you we do not have the appropriate abilities to get up there or there. So let's try to get over there. Can't go in there. This wall grab is so convenient because you're like, oh, I'm about to lose it, and then she automatically kind of grabs. And
yeah, I will say that's
so
one of the reasons I think I hate platformers is, and that's, I mean, the one thing I'm curious about is games that have like a wall grab. I feel like they're very bad at like, auto grabbing walls and things. And so do you find that this one, like, she grabs the wall pretty easily, or do you have to manually wall grab work?
Before I answer that question, you'll see that if you fall off or whatnot, it starts you kind of just at the room that you kind of came in. That finger kind of blaster kind of enemy is a real pain in the ass.
My favorite kind of enemy.
And as you saw with kind of that pole kind of is an example of how like kind of jumping across the poles can be a little bit challenged. But as we click, that grate kind of came out from the water. We can proceed through. That was our healing ability. When you hold B, you chime, and then you'll trade your power to heal. The question you posed is she pretty responsive in grabbing, or is there a lot of kind of close calls?
Yeah.
She is pretty responsive. There is, though, with the kind of mobile abilities we get later, there is ways that we can kind of sequence break a little bit, or at least like be creative in like getting to some things early, which is another way of saying sequence breaking. That doesn't necessarily feel intuitive, but the straightforward, like, hey, this is clearly the path I need to go, generally not a problem. But if you're like, like I think with enough momentum I can get there, that's going to require a little finesse. That'll lead us into a new area. I don't want to go there just yet. Let's continue exploring. I think maybe we can get a key this way. In that little cubby over there, I don't think I can see it. Yeah, it's in the way. There's a hidden collectible in there. It is a red V circle, like how you see as your health. I believe if you
Right.
collect 2 of those, you will extend your life bar. Part of me also feels like if your health isn't at max and you collect it, then you will also, it'll one heal you, but it won't give you a max health. So I think it's consistently as you get every 2 of them, it'll increase your life. But I often lose count with all the kind of the chaos. Okay, I know this will lead us back into that kind of 4-corner room earlier. I don't know if you are already starting to get turned around a little bit, Andrew.
Oh, I am so confused.
Yeah. This is the, kind of the con in the early game is it's so easy to turn around. This is where we... Good.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think if I was playing it, I think I'd have a little bit more sense of direction. I think just watching it, it's easier to get lost for me.
Yeah. This is the room that we were just in. We came up there and kind of come over here. I didn't realize there was a door over there. I don't quite remember what's on the door back there, but we'll come back. Let's go up another level. There's one ability I want to get just to kind of show up how crazy the platforming can be. And then we'll call the video once I get that and show you how things kind of work.
Yeah.
See, like that jump, it looked like she wasn't going to grab it, but she did, which was super chill.
Which is good. Because, yeah, as you know, and those that are watching our channel know, I played through Assassin's Creed, and that was one of my common frustrations is with you would like clearly be at a wall and not grab the ledge. And I feel like I just like bounce off the wall, and it would drive me nuts. And that's not even a platformer game. That's just a regular game.
So as you can see, there's an ability orb over there. Unfortunately, this one, if you end up playing the game, I'll give you a hint, you won't be able to get this one easily until much later once you get a couple other abilities. It is a nice kind of tempting, kind of like, hey, remember me? But it's one of the later ones that you'll get. I believe we can't go up there just yet. It's really helpful just to climb up to the top of the poles and launch yourself across. I don't remember this room, but it's okay. It's part of Metroidvania's exploring, right? Is testing boundaries, seeing what you can't get through, and going the other way. This is an interesting room. On the other side, I don't think you can see just yet, is one of the keys that we're looking for. It's floating over there.
Oh, I see it over there. Okay.
In order to get over there, we're gonna have to cross both ends. As you can see, there's our thunder fucking finger friends that are gonna make our life a little bit hell for a while again.
Ooh.
And this is where some of the frustrations with 3D platformers can come in. I don't know if you're familiar with
I'm
those.
feeling that, because this is where I would have given up. I'd be like, okay, I'm done with this game. It was fun.
A little bit of patience can often be rewarding.
It can. It's just, I mean, for me, it's just not the way I want to play my game. Right? I just want to do the thing that is obviously what I'm trying to do, and so I just get frustrated. I'm just like, I am sucking at this game because I suck as a person, not because of the character that I'm playing. It takes me out of the immersion of a video game thing.
As you can see, we hit the second kind of BH. I'm gonna go and click the key. So you do not like platformers that make you feel like you suck versus like the game sucks?
Yeah. I mean, that's generally why I don't like platformers, because it's like I feel like the fault lies with me, the player, and I would like to play like I want the like if you're I don't know Laura Croft, you're like amazing, and so like why are you like falling into a pit? Because you're amazing, you wouldn't fall into a pit. Like Andrew would fall into a pit.
That's a very relatable statement. I'm glad that you used Laura Croft as a frame of reference for platformers.
Yeah, and I mean I understand, and that's why sometimes it's fun. It's just generally I tend to get more frustrated, especially when they are a little bit more of like a dexterous challenge. And that's what a lot of people do like or want. So I get that they're not for me. So if you have the key, is that use up the key then?
Yes.
And so is there like a right and wrong like order to do things in? What if you use the key incorrectly?
That is a good question. I don't know if I have the answer to that. That's one of the health up medallions over there.
Oh,
I think, as you will figure out, this door, I think, is one that is required. The two up earlier are, I think, are technically just shortcuts. And so you'll kind of go and explore, because when I first played through this, I think there was one door I did not unlock. And so I was like, either I really missed something, or I selected something.
that's always, I mean, to me, the interesting thing in like a Metroidvania is like the planning and like the really like the design of it, and that's what's also impressive to me is like being able to come up with something like well done and that like has sequence.
Right. We now have the plunge. This is essentially a ground pound. Use this to break through fragile floors. At the same time, if we jump when we're done plunging, we can get a high jump.
Like plunge jump and then high jump?
Correct. It's like a pogo.
Yeah, lets us get up to those platforms that were just out of reach.
Yeah. These soldiers, army people, will awaken from time to time, usually after you get something. Do not mess with those. They will pretty much insta-kill you.
Oh, good to know.
Everything else seems like a pushover, but those guys are assholes. We're back a floor lower. And so now with this new ability, we can go and kind of try to get to higher platformers. I want to go out here, though I don't think this is what I think it is. Yep. So this is probably my favorite area of the game, mostly because of the music. We're also outdoors, and so there's this kind of eerie black skybox that's a little bit creepy. But this like late like 90s kind of like synth kind of like jam is like totally my vibe. I wonder if it's in here.
Oh. So my next question then is, Ritzley, like this is a one-person job.
So according
did all the sound and assets and everything, or
really quickly. So as you can see, we had a silver key. This is a golden key. This is technically, you'll see that like, hey, like I got a golden key. That seems to be like unique from areas I haven't seen before. Maybe that goes someplace like unique or different. So that's kind of supposed to like kind of tell you about some sort of in-game. I don't think I have the ability to get it. Do I? Oh. Nope, can't get up there just yet. There's not a health thing up there. So, from my understanding, doing a little bit of research, one person did the game assets of, you know, the platforming, the physics, and all that stuff. One person did the composre. So, I guess it's kind of a two-person job, but I think the music they pulled from may or may not have been to a variety of different projects. I could be wrong about that though, but I think, yeah, at least 2 people contributed to this project.
'Cause the music is really good, and I'd say, like, I'm very jealous if you have the ability to, design this game, do it all, and music of that caliber in 3 weeks. Like, that's quite a skill set.
Absolutely. Oh, I don't think I can get up there. Nope. So that's another thing of association is like you get like that kind of like, oh cool, I can get higher, and then it's still not quite enough in a lot of ways.
Okay, now we've been here before.
We have, so that door got us back to like the very first area after we got out of the training area, and this is kind of the cross kind of section where we go in multiple different ways. Let's head right this time. No, okay, maybe we need to go this way then. One thing, I don't know if we necessarily need like a true like Metroidvania map that kind of displays everything, but definitely a maybe just like a vague map of like, hey, you're in this section or you're in this section kind of thing would very much be helpful. Because it's sometimes hard to tell which is connected to what and where.
Yeah, it has the feelings of like the mid-90s kind of type of game, in which like you didn't always get a map or those kinds of things, and so sometimes there was a skill, I think, in like drawing your own maps, or like, and I think for some people there's like an enjoyment in that too. So I don't know that it's wrong. Maybe that's like could be part of the appeal of it. You could,
Yes.
people could make the argument of like, well, it's reminiscent of these really older games where there just wasn't the memory to have a map or the ability to pull up a map with all the other assets and things going on.
So this is the ability I was looking for. The air kick. Press A button while in the air. After a short delay, bounce off walls and objects in front of you. Can be done for 3 times until reset. So this essentially is your wall jump. So this wall jump does not act like your typical wall jump. So if you've played Mega Man or Mario, like you generally want to be holding a wall before you kick off of it, right? In this game, you essentially want to hit the wall at like the apex of her kick instead of you waiting until your character stops moving against the wall. So the difference between that kind of kick versus that kind of thing, it'll definitely affect her trajectory and how high she goes. And it's a little weird to kind of get used to, but you definitely want to get out of that habit of like, I have to like push myself up against the wall in order for it to work.
Right.
But this kind of kick at the same time, when you kind of rewire your brain from it, also allows you to do really cool things in sequence break. It is a little bit dizzying though. Like that, like sometimes it'll just kind of send you back in a way like you're not hoping. I don't remember this area being this intense. See, I was supposed to click backwards, but instead I held up against the wall, because my brain's telling me, like, oh, if, like... Ah! Let's do this way. Or you do that, where you, like, turn to midair and you miss.
Yeah. And this is why I love platformers.
Which is even funny because I didn't actually need to be up here. I guess could have jumped up there, came up here, jumped down. Come up here. Get back into the main area. I'm gonna go back to where that dope-ass music was. Not through here, just yeah, that's the main game.
Music. Dope-ass music.
I'll climb to the top of that kind of little castle area. We'll call it for this Indian inspection.
I love it.
Fortunately, it does not help you speed on, like, it's kind of like the speedrunner kind of mentality is, can you get just a little bit of increased movement? Air kick doesn't quite do that. Yeah, but like the sounds of like the walking, the crystal like bing, like it just feels good. Those swords are gonna follow me for freaking ever.
Yeah, it definitely, I mean, it definitely, you can tell this is a developer or development team that has some experience under their belt, just in getting all those things lined up.
So this wall kick corners are your friend? That was a bad example. Ignore that. You can do stuff like that. I mean, I already have it. Might as well go get that ability in there.
That way you have it.
Might as well. This is a fun game. I think this is the slide. Yes. So this is your kind of way to now kind of speed through the game, is now you can slide and you can slide jump.
That's how I die.
And so
slide jumping across the map.
So now, with these kind of three kind of main abilities of slide, your wall kick, and your long high jump, like you can do some shenanigans. That's not the right way. There's like an endless river of that kind of poison mist. Just, I don't know, it's eerie, it's kind of liminal space, it's at the same time like makes you want to explore it.
Yeah.
Just like weird tower bridge in the distance, like what's over here? Alright. So, if you can kind of see, there is a kind of a golden kind of like thing up there. There is, I don't know if there's a key up there or whatnot, but for those of you who made it this long in the video, the final kind of goal after you collect the other keys for the other areas, there's one area that we actually didn't get to see too, and that's kind of like the dark underbelly. Is the door awaiting the end game is at the top of this tower, and this tower is a little bit challenging to climb. You definitely you need to use all of your skills to get up there. But if you are crafty, you can get that up there early. But I'll let you figure that yourself. So there's still a bit of mystery in this game. So, what do you think, Andrew? What do you think of Pseudoregalia?
It's interesting. I am impressed with the quality of the package, given the time frames of it. At the same time, I'm curious as to why, if there was ever any thought, or why they maybe didn't go back and add some quality of life, improvements and updates to it. Which there could be various reasons, and it's not necessarily that it needed to be done. But yeah, probably not for me. Something interesting, and I like it. But
yeah,
good quality.
To answer that question, yeah, so it was just more of like, hey, I did this project. I don't know if they won or not. But you're like, hey, like I put some work into it, check it out, and then like this game like exploded on Twitter, at least in like the scene that is. They actually are thinking of, because it's done so well, they're gonna go and update it and make it like at least a free game on Steam or something that's a little bit more official. This is literally, I downloaded this probably like a couple days after they posted it, and they did say they did update their itch.io page that they are gonna make some updates and user-friendly stuff. So hopefully we'll see more of this kind of idea bloom in the future. So, well, thank you for joining me, Andrew. It's been another Ironwood indie inspection. What shall the people in the audience do?
Like, comment, subscribe,
and do the hokey pokey.
And the hokey pokey.
There you go.
That's right.
Alrighty. Take care, everyone. See you in the next video.
Bye.